The video that I just posted called You Thought has been getting so much positive feedback and so many positive responses and so many questions. So I decided to go ahead and do a branch out from that video right quick. Okay, y'all, so today this video is gonna be about, so when did you say when? And shout out to a couple of my friends. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all been inboxing me, asking me questions about, so you said you saw all the flags. So when did you come to the conclusion that you deserve more than this? When did you say, you know what, I ain't dealing with it no more? Like, when did it hit you? So I'm just gonna jump right into it. Of this being a heart-to-heart girlfriend type moment, and we sitting here being real with each other. I got my friend sidekick in the cut. He gonna chill with us. So I can honestly say, deep down in my heart, I never came to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm done with you. I'm through. I ain't dealing with this no more. I deserve better than this. I'm gonna go find me somebody better than you, because I know, like, that's what I need. I said it plenty of times, but I've never deep down in my heart actually meant what I said. So it came to the point where he had to start, well, I wouldn't say he, because God is in control of everything. God knew what he was doing. So God made a way. I don't know if y'all seen this post on Instagram or not, where it's like, when you know somebody ain't right for you, I know I'm not saying it right, but when you know somebody ain't right for you, gotta allow them to hurt you just so you can let them go, something like that. But it got to that point where I was like, I knew that I ain't had no business doing it. I knew that I saw the flags, like I told y'all, and I knew that it wasn't gonna go nowhere, because first of all, God not in it, because I feel like that he is my God. The love for myself was on 3%. So it was like, I felt like I need to talk to him every minute, every day. Like, you need to call me, you need to text me when we get on the phone, get off the phone, whatever. You need to tell me you love me and how much you care about me, how much you appreciate me, how I'm beautiful, how I'm this and how I'm that. Basically, all the stuff that I should have already known, or all the stuff that God has already showed me or already told me that should be inside of me, I was getting it from him. So I felt like, you need to do this all the time. So I was giving him all of my attention, like everything. If I went a day, like I could not go, I would say 2-3 hours without even texting and say, where you at? Or looking on Instagram or Facebook or something to see, oh, did you post something? Oh, what you doing? Oh, where you at? On Snapchat, looking in backgrounds and stuff like that. And it just got to the point where God made some moves. So it was one day in particular, this when the when to say when come in. I didn't never say when. I didn't never. What kind of English is that? I never said when, but this how God said when. So it was one day in particular, we was arguing about something. Who knows? We arguing about a lot of stuff. So arguing about something. Click, hang up in my face. So I'm calling back. I ain't ashamed to, call a few times, like a few meaning like 30. I called 30 times in a row and feel no shame about it. And I'm just calling, no answer. Texting, no answer. Facebooking, tweeting, Instagram, DM, all that, no response. So y'all, I was hurt. Like, when I say hurt, I'm talking about for real deal type hurt. Like, crying, like, Jesus, why ain't talking to me? Like, what I do? I promise if you make this right, I do anything that you want me to. I'm gonna put you in this relationship. I'm gonna make sure this relationship go right. I'm gonna make sure we keep you first. I'll make sure we focus on you. Just please let this work, because I believe that we supposed to get married, and I believe that, this the man that you called to be in my life. Like, y'all, I said all of that stuff. I was just going out. God, please, like, for days. This lasted for days. This wasn't just like a 30-minute prayer. This prayer lasted like every day. I prayed the same prayer every day. And I think it started getting worse and worse as the days went by, until it came to the point where I don't know if it was a week or a couple weeks. I don't know how long it was exactly. But after you start getting ignored so much, you begin to learn how to live without that person being in your life. So it was at that moment where I cried it all out and I ain't had no more tears left, and I said all the prayers that I had to say. Until then, I noticed that my prayers started changing. My prayers went from, oh Jesus, please let this work, I know that you called this man into my life, to, Lord, if this the man that you got for me, please let him answer my phone call. Like, if this the one that you want for me, please let this happen. Show me a sign, give me this, give me that. Then it went from that to, God, heal my heart. Like, you the only one. You've been here for me through all of this stuff. You've been protecting me. You've been guiding me. You've been leading me. You've been directing me. You've been my friend. You've been my father. You've been my shelter. You've been my everything throughout this whole thing. So please heal my heart. Teach me how to love you. Teach me how to love myself. Teach me how to be there for me. Like, then my prayer went from that to, Jesus, teach me how to be content with me. Teach me how to be content with just you, just sitting here with you, because you the only one that been there for me throughout all of this stuff. So then after I seen my prayers start changing, my actions started changing. Like, I wasn't checking Facebook and Snapchat and Twitter and Instagram on an hourly basis or a daily basis. I still check, like once a week or something like that, like once a couple weeks. But I was getting better, and I started doing better. I was going to church. I was reading my Bible. I mean, I do that anyways. I was doing that while in a relationship, but most of the time, even sitting at church while being in that relationship, my focus was so focused on him. I could be sitting there trying to listen to what the pastor or whatnot got to say, and I could get a text message, and I'd be right there on my phone, like, trying to text back real quick. Or I can be in the middle of a conversation. I'm like this, trying to text. In the middle of the conversation, I'm calling, even though I'm in church, y'all. It was a time I'm in church. I haven't talked to him all day long. He called my phone while I was in church. Y'all know what I did? Hello? Stepped out just to talk, doing like in the middle of church. So I started getting better after, I was being ignored anyway. So I felt like I had no other choice. But I was getting better unknowingly. And is unknowingly a word? Oh, well, it's going to be a word today. So I was doing better, going to church, getting into it. And because while in a relationship, my prayers were so focused on keeping us together and keeping us tight and keeping him from doing whatever like he wanted to do, basically, or whatever I thought in my head that he was going to do. I started focusing more attention on just spending time with God and getting a relationship with God and doing stuff like that, and it just made me feel better. So by the time somebody decided to hit your girl up, she was in a different space. I was like, and you are? Sit here in front with y'all. I was ready to answer that phone. So I was like, you gotta put your cute voice on. I was like, hello. You gotta make it seem like you busy and you doing something, because you like, I ain't been sitting here for all these weeks waiting on you to call me back. I've been busy, I'm popping. People want to talk to me. So, like, hello. So he was talking, oh, hey, how you doing? I'm sorry I ain't talked to you, blah, 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 lies. I've been doing blah, 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 lies. That's all that is. And I was sitting there, we had the conversation. When I tell y'all this was the hardest conversation, I felt like it was the hardest conversation of my life. Like, first of all, ain't no step in this process was easy whatsoever, other than when I started, like, loving God. That was the easiest part of this whole situationship that I would call it. So we sat there and talk. And then I came to the point where I was just like, no, we was having a conversation and he said, you sound different. And me, like, not noticing, even though I've been going through this whole process, like, I just explained it to y'all like it was months. It was probably like a few weeks. Not even a few weeks, probably like 2 weeks at the most that I was going through this process. And So I wasn't really noticing the way that I was talking was changing, the way my attitude was changing, the way I thought about stuff was changing. My prayer life, I told y'all that it was changing, but I didn't notice it was changing until like I actually sat here and thought about it. And he was like, "You